And it should. Let's see.
This camera?
Yeah, we'll probably have to switch it.
This one?
Oh. Here, let's steal this chair. You take that one. I'll get this one. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do I need to switch the camera and zoom?
Yeah, probably from here.
I didn't think about that. I'll
Here,
go grab
Rob.
some.
And I can
Yeah,
swap
me
that
too.
one.
Why is it only showing?
I'll go grab some. It won't take but a second.
It's like the camera's not going out.
I remembered to unlock
Thank
conference
you.
today, so you guys are good to go. Perfect, thank you.
It was on because you.
Just gonna grab the ones
Yeah.
in the instruction office, so we don't have to call part of it.
Can I sit down? Or is that going to end the stream?
It's probably gonna end it, but
Is it like this?
no, you can do down on it.
Yeah. Oh, there. Cold cut, turkey.
Okay, there's the camera.
Turkey and.
The camera.
There we go.
It's fine.
And then,
How was the info?
Where's the-
you got it under more.
Oh, it's still live streaming.
So is it?
We want this camera.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's true, not just during the speech, so.
I think it's continue.
That probably is.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna check it just to make sure.
Is that going to be okay? Can somebody check YouTube to see what's happening?
Sure, yeah.
That's probably good right there. We'll start with that if we need to go before we can.
There isn't anymore. I took them out of instruction, there isn't anymore. Well, no, there is in the conference room inside.
How many more you need, Josh?
Yeah. Thank you. Russ.
I think we're good. Thank God.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's where you are. We work, but we're gonna cut this.
Zooming in on me, but it's zooming in on.
Oh, we can.
I think because you're moving.
We can
It's
all
on.
back.
It's gonna.
I got it.
Hold on, I'll leave one.
I don't know if we can turn it on.
Oh, nice. She's pretty useful to me.
It's fine either way.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I was joking, but yeah.
I want to keep her happy.
We're feeling the love.
Maybe hearing you, that's why. It's got that camera.
That makes sense. How do you want there, Miss Jackie?
Um,
Cold cut or ham
Good with anything that has
or
meat on it.
turkey?
Hopefully they can hear it.
We got one ham, we
Probably
got
should
cold
have.
cut, and we got turkey.
Not unless it's taking a while to go out, but it's not out there.
Oh, he said he could see it.
Oh, because I'm restricted.
Is it,
Did you get half that?
is it,
They're in there.
there's a mute button on there, yeah?
Yeah.
Because when we go to caucus, we're supposed to mute it, but.
That sounds pretty rough.
I brought.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you'll
see
just
it
have to click it. Mute it
Yeah,
there.
top right.
Yep.
Like a mud shot right there. We hear it. It's good.
Becca says it's good, the video.
Okay.
If you want to.
Is-
mute
is it
unmuted
moving around?
combos, you can.
Yeah.
So they don't all want to hear us eating.
Do you want to pause right
Go
now?
ahead and mute it, yeah, mute it.
Oh, that's
Oh.
down here.
I only little bit about like travel or mileage.
Oh, you're gonna
I'm
get so much
I'm gonna
trouble
blame Drew.
tonight.
Uh-oh.
She'll be happy to blame Drew as well.
I think it'll be under, I don't think so. No. Under, what did you look under?
That was under business management.
Okay, so look under. You know, you think I'd have all these memorized.
GAN travel expenses, maybe?
G.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'm not G.
Authorized use of a personal car, including food travel between building staff members on the reimbursement within the country.
Doesn't say anything about all
So they're- get this one.
that. Oh, that way.
What?
Well, that's credit cards.
Close down. Oh, well, it's yellow now. Oh,
Here,
because the paint was really better. Did that last year too.
look at how what it does to the font
Yeah,
when I make it.
yeah, let's,
Just do it.
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
but it makes it like.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
So it was. It was. I thought I was like,
Picture.
like, there's nothing to. We came in here and I saw that it was doing that. It's like, can you change, like, is there any other color? It does not do that. It says the authorized use. They should be reimbursed as a rate established by the
I wonder if that's in there so that if they want to change that board policy, they can. Certified employees who travel as part of their regular daily duties.
Well, it's true, we could just update that policy. And then that would,
Either way, I mean. Yeah, because Mary makes a point, it kind of just points at the board policy.
Right.
Um,
I mean, to be fair, this section does also clarify that it's the same mileage rate that the state does, which
Mhm.
this board policy doesn't.
Yeah.
It just says established by the board.
which, that's typical. I mean, I honestly don't know the last time anybody got paid mileage to go anywhere because everybody has a district vehicle, except for, like I said, when you're going in between.
Right.
In between buildings.
yeah,
So I've just had two specific requests this year that they wanted to take their own vehicle. One was to Kansas City and I'm like,
yeah,
like,
no, that
but-
makes sense.
I'm like, you could take a slow car.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you guys want to compare and contrast between the board policy
Figure out if it's
and,
better to change verbiage here or the board policy.
yeah, and then let us know.
Yeah,
Yep.
we can just figure out that.
Okay.
On that same page, section K, so that first sentence, any certified employee hired for the first time in USD 457 shall receive a one-time amount. We would like between 457 and shall, we would like it to read, any certified employee hired for the first time in USD 457 as a certified employee shall receive a one-time amount of 1,000. Because like a para being hired for the first time, then they come back. So that way they could have previously been hired, but just not as a teacher. You guys good with that one?
Maybe we do that, but just like you said.
Yeah, that matches practice. Then,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And then continuing on, payment shall be made on the employee's first duty day. We would like that to say within the first week. Just because we have people that don't get their paperwork done in time, or we have people that get their paperwork done a day after they start. So that just gives it to where payroll only has to do one check run within that first week instead of their first day.
Is this, do you have additional compensation for new employees that you want to talk about later, or is this that?
That's this,
That's
right?
this?
Compensation for new employees. This is all we wanted to change.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I said. A lot of this that we want to change is just language stuff to clean up.
okay. Say it again, just, I'm sorry.
So instead of first duty day, just put within their first week or first duty week. Cause I'll tell you, they're not getting it on their first day right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that was me when I came the first time from Michigan. Like, I lost all the paperwork I was supposed to do before I came, and when I got here, it was my first day, and then Rebecca was like,
Paperwork, yeah.
here's all your
Yeah.
stuff. And it was like
Okay,
chaos, but that's just
Yeah.
experience. But
I mean, I don't see a problem with it, as long as you guys don't move
That's
on.
basic practice already.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously payroll will do it as soon as possible, but it just, the first day is,
Yeah.
usually they're coming in to fill out their paperwork on the first day and it's just not feasible.
It would still get done, and I can't imagine it would get done
We try
during the
to,
new teacher in service. One of those
Yes.
lunches is when
we always try
we
to
hand
do
them
it
out.
on that day where we introduce administration and hand them out there.
I was like,
I
are
was
you
gonna
actually
say-
typing?
I am, yeah. Could we just do that as a separate item instead of blocking in with the language clarification? Because I feel like that's actually like a change
Okay.
as opposed to like a clarification.
Sure.
I'm good with it. I thought that would make more sense.
Yeah.
So, let's see, Article 3.
Section K.
Okay. Revise.
Now I have more tabs. than I know. Find those in the board
welcome to
policies.
my world.
So you might need board policy again, and I want you to
Yeah, then I'll just
do
open
that.
it then. Then I'll just open it then.
First, do
This is why your desk is organized. and our desks have.
I think that, like,
Are you a color coder too?
am I what?
Color
Color
coder.
coder. I sometimes, like, I just, my desk is very clean, but I think a lot of that is like, I need to not have to keep track of where that stuff is in my brain, so that there's room for other things in my brain.
Want to double check that, just to make sure that's right, the way you wanted it,
Josh.
Josh?
Yeah, he made a new tab down there for.
Sorry.
Do you want to put both the revisions on there, Levi?
The other one, well, I mean, we can, I'm good, I'm done with it. I thought the other one was just like,
Still language.
yeah, it was just a language clarification and not really like a substantive change.
Okay.
But I'm good to put it on, both on there if you want.
Yeah, just payment shall be within the certified employee's first duty week.
Oh, wait.
Yep, and that sounds good to me.
Ross here. Right, off.
Should we do a vote? Might get our first vote in, huh?
Voting?
vote.
I'm in. Okay, I swear, Amber, I thought you were gonna put a thumbs down just to be funny.
Do we, what did we do last year for votes? Did we do something besides X's? Like, did we
Yes.
do like YN?
Yeah, we did.
We voted.
Yeah, Okay, everybody.
We all voted it, like there's a lot more, it's like,
Can we all move this down? Like, X. What is this?
It's a little X. Section L, we feel is pretty vague because it's like just some confusion, but I don't know if that is a separate item. It's just what special recognition. So I'll tell you what we do now is I go ask Drew. Like that's how I determine if it's special or not.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable with that as a separate item.
Okay, that's what
Listen,
I
I feel like I should get some special
I
recognition.
don't want it to be just special recognition.
How often can we do that?
Yeah.
Special recognition.
Let's talk to Drew.
Yes.
What are we looking at?
I had 27,
Yep,
before you go too far.
yep, 27.
Well, first of all, the revised 2024 on, page 26, is that for the whole section? Is that just for section L?
Actually, yeah, that was a good question.
Like, where is that referring to?
We didn't change section L last
Right,
year.
so it needs to go under what we actually changed. Which is the nesting part, which it does say that.
Let's see that.
So does that one need to come off? Hang on. I'll have that.
Because pay the dollar amount changed the year before.
Mhm.
Lot of sections.
Yeah, what are we looking at?
She's just saying what is it
Tied to?
revised tied to?
Page
Because I don't
two.
think it's,
We're on the right page.
but it wouldn't be all of our.
What is that? Here section, it's not that section, not that section.
Yeah.
Right now, I was,
Yeah.
I know,
That's what it like.
that's why I'm like, it's just like a,
So I don't know.
we changed other things.
I think it was just like a reference to, that article.
L?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that
the
entire
whole
article.
article?
Yeah, I think.
Wait.
Did you guys-
Oh.
Did we, did you guys?
Oh,
did you
yeah.
Bump this amount?
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
So what are the timers amount in that? And that doesn't show revision.
That's true. Interesting.
Yeah, I think we just put it at the end of the.
Yeah.
Things were changed. in
Well, I mean,
this
this is-
page.
This is
Yeah.
last year's.
That's 500. Oh,
Oh,
we bumped it last year.
But yeah,
no, we
remember,
didn't. It was a misprint.
We fixed that it wasn't.
So maybe that's why.
Maybe that's
Oh.
what it is.
Oh.
Okay, it was a misprint. Okay. Okay.
I bet that's, so would
Still,
you
that would
wanna
be-
move that under section K, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that revised 2024, we're gonna move under K.
And then change
Which
it to 2020.
125. So, yeah.
Revised
replace
the
that.
revised. So then that takes me back to nesting then. Nesting needs one. And it has one.
yeah,
Does it?
it does,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, then not nesting. We changed these dollar amounts last year and it doesn't have one. Section A.
For the scorekeepers and stuff.
Yeah, we reduced that list and we changed all those and it doesn't have a revised 2024.
Section A.
Yes.
Page 9.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
Yeah, just so you know.
Yeah.
This is a big chunk.
You're moving me around.
Yeah,
Oh,
that makes sense.
the times four and
Yeah,
all
the
that.
time for all that. Yeah,
Matthew
that should have a
22.
revised 2024. Sorry. That wasn't
And
on
then
my
July
original list.
2025 again.
Yeah, and then, yeah,
Probably.
2025 again.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to page 27. Didn't even get
This
to
is
the thing
open
I was
our
gonna get
question.
to.
Maybe
Those things should be collected in a different place.
27, right?
27, okay.
But yeah,
First paragraph, last line, it says parent certified employee conferences. In reference to all of those conferences, we would like them to be called parent/teacher conferences. And the parent and the teacher need to all be capitalized, or the first letters need to be capitalized.
where are you seeing that at?
Last line on. the
Oh,
first
parent
paragraph.
certified employee conferences.
Yeah,
Parent/teacher.
yeah, and then a capital
Capital
P,
P,
capital T, which comes up again later on page 30.
Is that the only two places in the whole agreement?
Well, the last one is certified employee parent-student conference, parent-teacher-student conference.
It's also in the conference.
Yeah, and then it's again on page 33. We've got parent/teacher, all lowercase, parent/teacher, capital T, parent/teacher, capital P, capital T.
That's when we did we changed it to certified teachers last year, and we just did
Okay,
it.
and then it's 3 more times on the next page.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put all, sorry,
All
all
parent
parents,
Yeah,
teacher.
Certified employee just doesn't have the same ring to it.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it happened with substitutes. It was like, because we did like substitute teacher, it said substitute
Certified
certified
employee.
employee. Yeah. It's like, that's something. And they're not certified, so, yeah, substitute.
31.
No, wait, I'm on 30. It says on number 2, the second to the bottom line, or actually third at the very end, it says building plant issues. I think it should be plan.
Oh, yes. I remember seeing that one.
Unless that's your potato chip plant.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. it's
Oh, I see.
Section 2 in the middle of the page.
So that's far forward, is it?
Is this separate item?
No, I think this is the same, because
Verbiage, okay.
yeah,
So on page 31, early childhood, second line after teacher will be provided, to add the words at least. And it's the same on the elementary, needing to be added, but intermediate, middle school, and high school already have at least.
Okay. Yeah. So instead of on average.
Yeah, so at least on the average.
every one of these grade levels are different.
Oh, I see, you just
On
want
the
to
average.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yes.
On
see
the
that.
average on the at least
Yeah,
this
okay.
much.
Yes. For early childhood and elementary. And then they all 5 will match.
Good. Just so we don't forget to talk about it.
But not
Well, that'll come up.
okay.
What is it?
The flexible release day, that we've got it
gotcha.
bold there.
Oh, yeah.
We just circled it so that we would remember that we need to talk about it.
Okay, the bottom of page 34, there's a typo. It says the superintendent or their designee may be required.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can be superintended to do something, but.
Very bottom
Be
line.
superintendent.
On that, on the
Instead of
paragraph,
interim super, that's what it should be. Instead of interim superintendent, it should be superintendent.
and we also have one on page 34, the second paragraph from the bottom, towards the end of the second sentence. Then the certified employee shall receive an additional sum. We would like for it to say, then the certified employee may receive an additional sum, because they have the choice whether they want to use leave and get paid or not. They don't have to. So just changing shall to may. So
Can
work
we also
comp,
fix during this and certified employee? Which I've just noticed.
Oh,
And certified employee.
it should
absence.
just be a certified
oh,
employee.
under,
Yeah.
yep,
Yep.
It's a very wordy paragraph. I love it.
Such an event as a certified employee charged with a suit injury sustained in the course of employment and for which the certified employee received his full first compensation.
so work comp pays a certain percentage, I believe it's 66 or 75, I can't remember. Because one's work comp, one's short-term disability, but anyway, it doesn't pay a full 100% of, if you're on work comp. We allow an employee to use a prorated sick leave day that they have to make it to 100% of their pay, but we don't force them.
Oh, I
And
see.
so we would just like it to be like verbalized that it's optional.
Needs to be their choice.
What
not-
if,
not
what
our
if
choice.
instead of just may, what about like may choose to? Because that makes it, like clear that it's their choice.
And not the district's
Right,
choice.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so may choose to receive an additional.
Yeah, good with that?
Yep.
Good, good change.
And then that last paragraph, when I read this, I was like, gosh, this, like, they could be assaulted by anybody. So we would like it to read that like define that it has to be by a student. And I'm like,
Or-
because
Well, that it has to happen at school.
yeah,
Because
when
they
I,
could be assaulted by a parent or something too.
yeah,
But I mean, they can't be at home and get in a fight with their husband and get assaulted and
Technically, my son is my student.
you're on your own when you go home. After 4 o'clock, he's on your time.
so just, as a result of personal injury caused by the assault and or battery of a student as reported to the superintendent.
Didn't we have, where, was it student or patron?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
I don't remember reading that.
That's actually a policy.
Is that board policy, is that what that is?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Can you pull up policies, Jess?
Yeah, but now they're gonna get it, and I don't have.
So that's-
You're both. I have fabulous ways of thinking.
And that's, I think that's why we wanted to do that, so that the policy matches the negotiated agreement. Oh, it's gonna be staff.
GAF.
Okay. This one, as many times as we looked at this, Levi, how do we not have this one memorized?
Every day.
Maybe it's under J. Which one is it?
You were missing this phone call from.
What's the
From
policy
him.
number?
One cup in particular.
It's really hot in here.
It's okay, it was very cold. in the
We have
school
that
yesterday.
I heard. With air conditioning blowing, correct?
This isn't it.
I don't know,
Oh,
what I
It is
didn't.
in our room.
This was freezing cold.
It's not this
The high school is always cold.
one. I know it's.
I was told.
I know if I'm going to high school, I bring layers, like just in case.
It's EBC, security and safety.
Thank you.
See, Amy, if you had it pulled up already, how much time would that have saved?
Why is it under business management? That makes no sense. Some of these.
So
are
weird.
written down on the label.
Just give all the policies, the average.
Okay, so
An
it says-
employee who has suffered an assault and or battery in connection with his employment, where such event occurs in school grounds or while the employee is engaged in duties at a regularly scheduled school event, may, within 2 weeks thereafter, make a written report of the circumstances to the superintendent. Whenever the employee is absent as a result of the injury caused by the assault and or battery.
So we need to mimic the language of in connection with his or her employment where such event occurs in school grounds.
Yeah,
In school grounds or on? It says in, but I would go with on. So I'm just gonna, I'll
have a
bring
choice.
verbiage on that to, match
Outward.
What is that? What was it?
Section A,
Yeah, right down.
EBC.
Do we have, this is just a general question, do we have like a sort of standard process for that, like, report that's supposed to happen? If people choose?
So there's a accident form, like when somebody gets hurt at work, there's a form that they fill out with the nurse.
Yes.
There would be a form, that would be what we would use, and that would trigger the workman's comp. Yeah, there's a whole policy that it goes through Melinda and Jessica's office does all that.
Is that like written down somewhere? Like, I'm just wondering what people like,
If you get hurt,
people are pursuing that kind of thing and they're like.
If they
looking
go
for,
to their
okay, what do I
school
do?
nurse. the
so yeah,
school
if you go to
nurse
your
knows
principal
now.
or your nurse, they'll know what to do. So typically, whenever we have a workman's comp claim, the school nurse does that. And if there's not a school nurse in this, like Amber's building, she doesn't have a nurse every day, then like we would send the nurse that goes out to her, or we would send Michelle Scholl out there to do that, unless it's an emergency where they need to get, we need to call 911, and then we would do that.
Are you meaning like to trigger not just that they have workman's comp, but to trigger that?
I'm meaning that
It's
in
by
both
the
of these
patron.
places, it talks about a report to the superintendent.
Yeah.
As reported to the superintendent in the policy here. and
Yeah,
then,
I think that's just
as reported to the superintendent.
just letting the superintendent know that that's happened. I don't know that there's a report that you would do in this context, like shoot them an email, say, hey, this happened. Because I'm not saying it's a report, I'm saying it's reported to the superintendent.
So that's what she, is it reported or is it the employee's responsibility?
Yeah, I
to
mean,
report
that,
it?
I think that's a little,
Does that make sense?
yeah, like that bit about it just feels a little bit like unclear. If that makes sense.
My brain is thinking with you.
Yeah. I'm just imagining being a person that this has happened to, like trying to like sort out, okay.
So I would, a couple thoughts. One, I would hope that if that happened, they're talking to their principal, and their principal should be walking them through what they should be doing. I mean, for two
Sure.
reasons. One, that's the principal's job, but two, the principal's gonna have the answers and should be able to know what to do. And if they don't know the answers, then they know who to call.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
And board
So,
policy just says make a written report to the circumstances of the superintendent. So again, not an actual
yeah,
report.
I think you
It's a
just,
form.
yeah, I don't even think there's a specific form. That's a lot of what we do. It's
Yeah.
just a narrative that we would have people write. Similar to like if you're gonna be, like when we have, the sick bank, when we have that,
Right.
people will write a letter, it's the same thing. I think we just document something. I just think as long as we got something in writing, that's.
I wonder, like, I
And
just wonder if it
typically-
would be worth also clarifying.
Typically, like the staff members I know that have actually missed work, we have, after we changed this policy, we went back and made sure that they got their sick days back, and we did all the things that we needed to do according to this policy. And when that happens, then we get alerted and we let Jessica know not to charge those days to them. If it does get charged, we try to make that right, so. I just think you need to have a
Okay, I mean-
paper trail.
We're coming back to this section with language anyway, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
You good, Amber? Okay, page 35. That first paragraph under emergency leave, sick leave, paternity leave, chargeable, we just feel like that needs reworded, but I don't know that we have suggestions. So, that
Like
might
the
be some-
title itself?
No,
or
the first paragraph.
Or which ones?
That's
Right
probably
under
the one that we need to,
That's probably separate. is what you're saying.
that can be part of. That's probably more than a language.
We'll see how our leave.
So we can skip that for now. The last sentence on A, A doctor's statement will be required if more time is needed for recovery. We do not currently require it. Because that's saying if you have a baby and you want more than 6 weeks, like that we
You have
require a
FMLA,
doctor's
we
note.
can't
We do
make you give
not.
us a doctor's note because you've got FMLA, so.
So we do.
So are you just wanting to just strike
Strike
that
it.
sentence?
You don't have to have one even after FMLA, is that?
Well,
Well,
that's,
that's what I'm wondering, if we need to put a doctor's statement will be required if,
Just
More
before you
time.
return back to work? Because I think you. have
oh,
to have
yeah,
one.
return to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
that's
to
what we
have
do.
one return.
But this is for leave, this is for chargeable leave, not for returning to
Not
work, yeah.
so I just don't know if we need to leave it in there, if more time is needed for recovery past FMLA coverage or, in addition to approved FMLA coverage or something like that, because we do not require it up to that point. 12
weeks.
weeks.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
so
what
I
did
think
you
it
say?
says
No, I'm
six.
saying how amount of days you can. Like your
Acquire
sick days, you're
right
gonna, well,
now.
like, it's currently like 100%.
Which is. You could potentially have
months.
more. than just the 3 months, okay.
Right here.
Days for
Oh, yeah,
certified
it's literally on the
employees,
page I was looking at.
110 days for certified employees with a 2-month extended
It's literally the
contract.
paragraph.
This feels like
like-
Yeah, the
Right
110 was what was sticking in my mind, but I think for just regular certified employees, it's 100 days.
I feel like if you're changing that, then you should change the like. That they're allowed 6 calendar weeks of leave and just make that the 12 weeks, that's an FMLA.
Yeah. I don't know why 6 weeks is
Well, because we currently only allow 6 weeks of emergency leave from the day. They can take more, but they can't use accrued time off. So this is just saying, that we will automatically allow them 6 weeks of emergency leave.
So that's why it said the doctor's statement then, was because if you wanted to be able to use more sick days than the 6 weeks. Not taking time
Your
off,
personal
but if you
time.
wanted to have more of it covered by your
As if it was,
sick.
like, I know,
Your sick hours.
100 years ago when my kids were born. It was, you got 6 weeks off, or you could use your 6 weeks of leave. My wife had a cesarean, so then she got to take 8 weeks off for that, and with a doctor's note, so she couldn't go back.
Well, we could table this because we have a suggested change for it anyway.
Yeah.
Later. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that might clean itself up.
I'm glad I'm bringing all of these up just to put them off. So you guys know. B, if a child under age 5 is adopted, later it's age 6. On page, let me see. So we just need to be consistent.
Pick a year.
Page 40. The very last, number 2 on the very bottom, it says under the age of 6, and this says under the
Oh,
age
for
of
the
5.
leave bank.
So I think that we should maybe make the 6 a 5 or the 5 a 6.
I think
Just
because,
do FMLA. Just say, you know.
Well, they get FMLA if they adopt.
cause like this sick bank section, we absolutely changed last year, right? Like in terms of
Yeah.
putting that in, like,
That wasn't changed though. That's always been in there
for the,
for the age of the child.
And then 41 also has
Thanks.
age 6.
She was saying that 40 and 41 are more
Yeah.
recent
Right, like,
than.
because there
35.
wasn't, you couldn't,
That's at the very end
Right.
that we revised it, and then it also says that the disability frontal leave bank is only in effect for this year and shall be revisited.
right.
No,
So
you're
page
right.
35
So all that
has been
language is
in
on there.
for years. 40 and 41 must have been a typo because
Well,
it was
I think
added.
that I'm trying to remember exactly how this, because I feel like I sort of feel like I remember mimicking language from somewhere else last year for that bit. Because like this bit about can apply to use up to 5 days of leave from the bank, like that's something we put in there. So I'm wondering, I feel like we mimicked language from somewhere.
I think we mimicked it from here, but we mimicked it.
Yeah, I have last year's. This is part of my just having too many things. Yeah.
Under the age of 6 was part of the language we agreed upon last year. So what, if it was a typo, it was a typo in the language we voted upon.
Intent, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think then that just B on page 35 needs to be adjusted to 6 to be consistent?
I mean, I definitely would have argued that last year, yes. But I do think it might be something we need to make an item.
Okay.
As opposed to just because I can't
What are we talking
guarantee
Sorry.
Just
that
to put this off until we.
that was
address
the intent or not.
the business.
Okay.
Okay,
It was
so
from the extended leave infant care or adoption.
Is that what it was?
Which I don't know, like. Is this what we took
That's
out
what we
because we
took
just
out.
didn't need it
That's-
because of FMLA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it say 6 in there?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Under the age
So
of
that's where
6
we took
years.
it
And
from.
And
I
I'm
mean-
fine with 6. I just think. it
I
needs to
see
be
the
the same.
logic of 6, right?
Yeah.
It's like-
I mean, if you guys want to make it 6, I'm cool with that. We just need to be consistent throughout the
I mean,
year.
because I think I would look at this and be like, oh, well, the purpose of that is for kids that are under school age, right? And some 5-year-olds are. But
Yeah.
6-year-olds.
so do you want to wait or do you want to go ahead and make that 5 a 6?
I'm down to make it that a 6.
Just to be
Especially since you
I'm
found
okay
that,
with
that
that,
makes
yeah.
sense that was definitely.
Because that's the
Like, I
only,
think
that's the
that's
only
something
5
that
that's in there. The rest of them
I'm
are.
I'm more comfortable now that was the intent.
Yeah.
That she found that, so that way I'm like, okay, that's what we missed last year anyway, so.
Page 36. Right under emergency leave bereavement chargeable. Mother-in-law and father-in-law are not included in the immediate family. We would like to add mother-in-law and father-in-law. Considering brother-in-law and sister-in-law are in there. Feel like
Hey,
maybe
which
a mother-
one?
mother-in-laws.
I mean, it's under emergency
Have you
leave.
met my mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Kidding.
I have, it's a skip.
Yeah, I just think,
I have it.
I think that was one, it was just an oversight when that was.
No, I have J, something like that.
See. We good with that one?
Oh, yeah. No, he does it.
I have a wish.
Yeah. something.
The next page. We need to talk about, it's probably later, but the accrual of how many days can carry over since we changed it to 9 and 3 last year. We had issues within Skyward because it said that you can't carry over 8, but you can't accrue more than 10. And so if they carried over 8 and they got 3 more, then it took 1 away because you can only have 10.
Right.
So we need to either put that carryover at 7 or, so if that needs to wait, that's fine, but that is definitely an issue on page 37. And then probably my favorite thing that I found reading is at the bottom of page 37, the second or the third from the bottom sentence where it says extenuating circumstances, high school, post-secondary graduation, or the wedding of the certified employee's spouse, which would be your wedding.
Well, I mean,
Your wedding,
Well,
but you can have it also their wedding.
how does that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
What does that
it
meant to
just
say?
it's because the graduation and the wedding are lumped together, right? Your spouse might graduate
Graduation.
and that not be your graduation.
Oh,
So I got, those two got lumped together.
Oh,
and I was like,
yeah.
who needs that?
Yeah,
Well, your spouse might graduate.
They could graduate. before
Hopefully not from high
secondary.
school. I hope.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. But the way it
that
is.
makes sense now that you say that, yeah.
So do we need to take the or wedding out and put another like comma, personal wedding?
I mean, maybe it could be, here are the list of people that you can access this for, and then here's the list of things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You can access it for
Yeah.
spouse,
These are
children,
the
parents,
people that-
brother or sister,
Yeah,
and
these
you
are the
can use
events
it
and these are the
for
people.
their wedding or their graduation.
That's-
Which is still like a little bit like you might look at it and be like, why is their spouse gonna get married without them? But like,
Let's just agree to PTO and knock all out.
Yep,
I'm with you, brother.
agreed, all right.
That's
we
gonna
can
be
write it
easy
on there,
stuff.
let's
Write
take
it
a
on there.
vote, who said agree?
Okay, so we'll bring verbiage back on that.
Okay, on the wedding.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Beck.
Okay, so
I don't have any more, so whatever, wait.
I'm still just looking at that sentence. This sentence is a weird sentence. Because then there's after brother or sister, there's a semicolon, an event at the state level that the certified employee's child is competing in.
Yeah,
It's
just, that's separate thing.
strange.
What a weird sentence.
On page 38, the note under section C says that days will not be charged to accumulated emergency leave when the certified employees take leave under this. Well, it's obviously not gonna be charged when it's professional leave, military leave, but it is on number 4. So you may have leave charged under extended leave for health reasons. So I think if you guys are good, we just need to remove the note. See if you think that makes sense.
You can take FMLA without
or
taking
without,
leave,
yeah.
right?
yeah,
But it says will not be charged,
Yeah, will not
but
be
we do charge it sometimes under extended
they're-
leave, yes, if they request it.
I think you can just take out the note and just leave the rest of the language in there.
At the very least, the other ones, I mean, other leave, that's fine. We can take the note out and just put non-chargeable next to 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Just to denote those clearly.
I mean, we charge professional leave,
But there,
Yeah.
it goes down as professional day.
Yeah, but yeah, we charge professional leave, but the definition over here is just talking about emergency leave about chargeable and non-chargeable. So this is non-chargeable leave, right?
well, section C
Or, I
says
mean,
other leave.
Or this is
Actually-
just non-emergency.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just non-emergency leave. Hmm. Yeah, that might be something we need to come back to
Just
as
can't
well.
put too much time in our hair.
My
No,
husband had
I'm sorry,
surgery.
That's good. That's good. We need to clarify these things. It's just, I'm not sure this one's like a
I mean,
quick fix.
a lot of these things, like I said, it's how we're just not practicing what we have. We just need to.
Let's put a minute.
So you wanna bring that up later?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
And then page 39, number 4, extended leave for health reasons on B. The second sentence, it says an employee will be required to substitute definite and certain leave. We do not require. They can take docs and pay if they so choose.
Employee may.
Yeah, so may.
Maybe this is another like may choose to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Employee may choose to substitute definite.
Page 40 is just at the bottom, again, it's the 6, so we've taken care of that, but the very last sentence on page 40, it says a certified employee does not need to have exhausted all of their accumulated leave. We would like to put the eligible or an eligible certified employee does not need to, because they have to donate a day in order to take it. So they need to be eligible. So it kind of just reads that any certified employee doesn't have to.
You want to put eligible before all of those in that section? Then? An eligible employee as a result of constructive.
Yeah, we could.
Or we could almost put it in the top part too, shall be established as a eligible.
Well,
Yeah, I think I like that. Established to assist eligible employees in 2 ways. Is that what you're talking?
Yeah.
I like that if you guys.
Just make that change right there,
Yeah, so
and then leave the
between
list
assist
over there.
and ineligible.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, okay. Um, 41. Is this a separate item?
that probably, because that's a material change.
Okay.
We've got to revisit the bank anyway, right?
Yep.
So that we can talk about that there.
So do you want all of these to be weighted on? All of these? Because like number 2, it says, apply prior to the birth of a child or adoption of a child under the age of 6 or within 20 contract days. We ran into it this year of a summer birth. Like they may have their baby in June. Do we really give them 20 days into their August contract to do this? And do we allow them to, like if they're already back to work, like if they have their baby in June and they were planning on coming back to work in August, let them go back and say no. So I don't know.
That would be a material
Okay.
change.
Number 3, I just put the very last sentence of number 3 on the second section. Exceptions may occur and will be given due consideration to the individual circumstance. And I just wrote by who. So who's going to give that consideration?
Well, it would have been the committee beforehand, but we kind of changed the way that works.
So I just think we need to define who can grant
That would
that
probably be
consideration.
superintendent or designee.
Something to know, okay.
Something to think about when we come back to this section.
Okay. And then very bottom of that page, USD 457, Human Resource Director does mean I'd like to make that superintendent just to be consistent throughout. And just put superintendent or designate like it is listed otherwise. Other places it's on page 42 as well under committee guidelines. It says Human Resources Director specifically, and we just thought that put superintendent or designee on all of those.
Let's come back to that one.
Okay, yeah. Page 43, section A. The hospitalization, like on number 1, that under section A, the number 1 health and dental insurance, and it has hospitalization in parentheses. We don't really have that. I mean, it's included in the health. If you want to leave it, I'm fine with it. I just didn't know why it was listed separately. And then we would like to, on the 3rd paragraph of section A, remove that because it says the board's contribution to the fringe benefit program will be less any service charges assessed by the administering agencies of the program, and we do not charge that back to employees.
That's a material change, so we probably need to vote on that, but
I see what you're saying.
that's
Yeah,
just, we're not charging you guys.
I agree.
We
I
haven't
agree
done
with
that.
you. We probably should vote on that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Because like right now, it's
I think
currently
that's
like
another one of those that I
hundreds
think is an
bucks.
easy win. And,
Right.
you know, we just,
Did you want to do that right now or?
Yeah, if you want to. So this paragraph, basically what that says is that the service charges that you get for your fringe benefits, we charge you for that, but we don't. The district pays, yeah.
That's why I'm like, what service charges?
We pay
Yeah,
those.
That's why.
You
So
guys
if we
never see
pay,
this.
I think it's like $120 for a family plan, and the way this reads is we would take the $900 fringe, and you would only get $780 because we were paying $120, but we give you the full $900.
This is section 8, Article
Yeah,
6.
Article 6, Section A, eliminate the third paragraph.
Fringe benefit. Oh, no, just removing that whole thing,
Just remove it, yeah.
just that sentence, right?
I think that
The
whole
That-
paragraph,
Paragraph,
board's contribution to the fringe benefit program will be less any service charges.
what about that second part though, what is that?
Oh, yeah.
Jessica,
Full-
a full copy of the IRC section 125 plan will be available for pursual in the business. Yeah. Pursual, perusal.
You pursue
Moving
it.
on.
What is
and
that?
peruse it.
Does it have to do with the fees? Like, is that why that's lumped together?
Yes, the fees are, the IRC section 125 plan would say what the fees are.
So that's why they have it in there, because they're like, well, you need to see the fees.
Yeah.
It's basically proving what we're withholding from you.
So
but
we
we're
just
not
remove that
withholding
whole
it.
thing, right? Okay. That good? We'll just remove, click different tab there, Josh.
Oh, sorry.
Just remove third paragraph of Article 6, Section A.
Yep, for me.
Good.
Actually, I think what we should use is for approving uppercase Y and for down lowercase y.
Lowercase y. Oh, no.
Yuck. Yeah, yuck.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeesh. That's what it's called.
Okay, page 44 at the top, the committee, the health insurance committee, the financial officer, and then the next one is director of certified employee services. That position doesn't exist anymore, and it's just the employee services coordinator. At the top. 44.
And just change it director of employee certified employee services to
Just to employee services
employee
coordinator,
services coordinator.
which is Rebecca. Number 3 under section E on that, it says that the second sentence, any increases or additions to the account will be made effective the first of the month following initial employment or at the beginning of each plan year. When I came in, I actually just started allowing changes anytime. Because like if there's a hardship and somebody needs to stop their annuity, like we allow that. So I guess we would just suggest we'll take out the word only. So it would say will be made effective on the first of the month following a new salary reduction agreement. Instead of initial employment or at the beginning of each plan year.
What does that refer to, plan year?
September 1, the very first sentence defines the plan year, says September 1. So you would only be able to change your amount when you were
Oh, I see.
hired for every September.
Why the plan year, bro?
That's when
So
your,
it's not count.
That's,
your benefits plan,
Yes.
that's when your benefits.
Oh,
go into effect.
benefits plan, duh. Okay.
you're a
Ignore me,
teacher
ignore me
level
today,
plan.
guys. Yeah, I'm looking at my plan.
So, yeah, so again, just, will be made effective on the first
Okay.
of the month following a new salary reduction. agreement.
videos.
I hope y'all caught that. I hope someone caught it. I'm gonna go home and watch on YouTube, see if you caught it on YouTube.
Salary reduction agreement.
Salary reduction. Y'all needed a break.
Yes.
And the same thing on page 45, number 5. The very, number 5 says, yeah, it says certified employees may add or increase on September 1 or January 1. Again, just put that, may add or increase.
May add, increase, or
Yeah, may add, increase, or discontinue a
At any time.
certified employee paid account at any time. So take,
that must have been just an employee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Previous version.
so we'll take out after the word increase, take out and certified employee paid account on September 1st or January 1st, but may discontinue. So that it reads, certified employees may add or increase or discontinue, right?
Add, increase, or discontinue.
Add, comma, increase, or discontinue a certified employee paid account at any time. Good there. Down at the bottom, under tuition reimbursement number 1, it says all certified employees who have not previously obtained a master's degree are eligible. We would like that to read all certified employees who have not previously obtained a master's degree reimbursed from USD 457 are eligible, so that those employees that come in with a master's degree already can get reimbursed.
Couldn't fix this last year, Josh? What the hell?
Did you ask me that last year?
No, just I didn't ask about it because that says that I already have a master's degree, so I couldn't do it.
Are you done?
I already have a master's, but I went back for.
Are you done with your second one?
Yeah, but I chose the endorsement program instead of the master's program because like, well, I can't get paid back. anyways.
Well, they did the same thing to me last year. I was in the middle of my master's degree and they increased it to
They increased
7.
it.
I know, they did that to me too. I was so sad. I
Dang,
was
Josh. Sorry.
like, I went.
You're late, but no short.
You were like.
So basically, the
No,
district
we
will
brought
pay
this
for
to
a
Tyler.
master's degree. So don't make one.
Not producing any master's degree.
Because a lot of the issue with this is that the people coming in with it, like that are doing the T2T program, they have a master's in business and they need to go to the master's, so we'd like to be able to pay them.
Give me the language again. Just-
So all certified employees who have not previously obtained a master's degree reimbursed
From USD
from
457.
USD 457 are eligible. Or obtain a master's degree.
Obtained reimbursement for a master's.
It says obtained a master's degree.
Reimburse.
Yeah.
Reimbursed from, yeah.
USD 457.
What if the amount changed and you'd like to get another master's?
Give the extra $2,500.
Yeah. Okay, so good with that.
I don't mind committing for another
Can
5.
we back
I don't mind
pay?
committing for another
Yeah.
5
We
years.
back
I'll take
pay
that
those
75.
who are currently in the $5,000 program.
I went through all the master's programs and did all that.
I think I
before we even-
skipped
I know, that's what you told me last
quite a few pages.
But I feel your pain, just like Levi, I feel his pain.
I was either getting tired of finding things or,
Yeah.
Because I've almost got it paid off.
Wow.
Makes me sick that my kids are gonna have their ones paid off before mine, because I just keep it back to school.
that's all I had.
Okay, so I'll know and you'll know that we really need to start at page 46 and
start there next year instead of the beginning, right?
That's where you started to get tired.
Yeah, cause that's what I
When
did.
I stopped at 37, I was falling asleep.
Well, I'm pretty sure I saw grievance and I'm like, that's Josh, I don't even hardly know what that means.
Yeah, I knew we were gonna get into
No
all
one
of that stuff too,
I was like, oh, no, that.
So
so.
we're gonna go back to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, somebody.
Convenient gets here right after language.
He was watching you the whole time, like, yeah, I ain't walking.
He was listening to all.
How are you? How are you doing?
You guys wanna just start with, wanna start at the top and go down, how do you wanna do this?
Well, we're still,
Oh, we still doing language?
no, but the next one, you guys wanted to go through the appendices.
Yeah,
So do we want?
we'll do that separately,
Oh,
that'll be a separate,
okay.
Well, it is a separate.
yeah.
She's saying, do you want to do it?
Right
Like,
where
that.
it
That's
is
yellow.
now.
Oh,
I'll help you.
I didn't see
Some
the
translation.
He
translation.
doesn't wanna be in the book anymore,
You
that's what
gotta
I'm
talk
hearing.
slow.
I don't know if it's scary, I knew he wasn't following her.
So. Wow, I just closed my. So the appendix, here's where I'm at with the appendix. Thank you.
Actually, before we get to the video, Josh, do you mind, I was just gonna say, there is one more thing that would be like a change like we just talked about.
Okay,
So if you go to Article 3, Section B2, I don't have the page number, I'm not that organized, unfortunately. I do have these.
It's
Sounds right.
find it in something.
are we doing the salary schedule one that you got? Is that what we're going to?
One of them, yeah, the salary schedule regulations, this is what we added last year. And it says, let's see. Master's degree, yeah, the master's degree in excess of 36 graduate hours, remember we changed that
Oh, yeah,
last
yeah,
year?
for like the, yeah,
It would make sense if we go to section E. Yeah. The salary, literally the salary schedule regulations, where it has a whole bunch of things listed about receiving category advancements, how to move across the salary schedule, how that works, like, it just fits in that area.
So moving B2.
So are you thinking like right there where the paragraph was it 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth paragraph kind of in that area?
Yeah.
In order for certified employee to receive categorical advancement.
Yeah.
And then, well, I guess it would actually be the next paragraph.
Yeah, the
It's
next
talking about the masters, yeah. Are you saying, and then take it out of the other section?
Yeah, just take it out of that.
Just move it from one to the other? I don't have an issue with that.
And you said at the second, like between the second to the last and the last paragraph.
I would say that it would be the very last paragraph.
Yeah, very last word.
So
It would just
after
be another
at the
paragraph.
bottom.
Yeah.
at the bottom.
Okay.
Nice.
That's the easy one. Is that your salary schedule regulations?
One of them.
Oh. We're not gonna be able to vote and be done? Man, I was like, we got 2 X's, let's keep this going, man.
That's one, that is one of them. The other one, I don't know, we'll find out.
Well, do you wanna go into that? I mean, since we're already started?
No, go to the appendix.
Okay. So if you look at the appendix, a lot of the stuff in the appendix, I feel like is extremely redundant. And I don't even know why it's in here. Like, why do we need to have a copy of a timesheet in here? Like appendix D, why do we have that?
It's
They're in-
referenced somewhere
they're
in
in
the book.
But they're in the office. I mean, I just feel like a lot of this stuff, we have these documents everywhere else, and it just takes up a lot of the negotiated agreement. The other thing I
Is there
would
not
say,
an appendix A?
No, there's not. It got taken out and it didn't get.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, I just-
And probably
So,
the reason
like-
why is because it's referenced in there and they don't want to be.
What you would wanna take
so,
on page 9, take
so
off
the
where
other-
it says the appendix.
you know, like,
If it's in here and referenced in it, put what page number on here it goes back to.
The bad thing is like, like my office can't change this. Like if we wanted to reformat it, we can't do anything. Make it friendlier, like,
and that's kind of where I'm at too with like the evaluations. I mean, at some point, we're gonna have to update our evaluations. I mean, these evaluations that we're using, I was still in the classroom when we had these evaluation forms. And so I would like to propose that we put some language in the negotiated agreement somewhere where we have a committee or we do something to talk about what the evaluation documents look like, because I feel like these things are dated, and every time we want to make a change or, you know, like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when we added the student achievement goal, we had to have that, and that was all part of it. We had to meet and we had to update all that to do that. I think it's a lot easier if we take all these out, but I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, and if you guys want to talk about that, that's fine too, but that would be my recommendation, is let's just take some of this stuff out. And I feel like obviously the grievance procedure, we need to have that in there,
Yeah.
because that's one of those things that we don't do very often. And when we do, we all need to know what we're doing and things like that. But like the conference report document, if you look at this versus the actual, it's the same information on the template that we use, but this isn't even formatted the way we do conference reports
So
anymore.
can we not just update the one that's in
I
here?
mean, we could, but why? I mean, if we have it somewhere else. These are just Josh's thoughts, so if you guys are not comfortable with that, I'm okay with that too.
Just John.
yeah.
Something a podcast.
76.
Nobody would listen to it. Yeah. If you look at page 76 to page 95, that's every eval, those are all of our evaluation documents. I just think that's,
I think it would be nice just if it said it somewhere in there where they could be found. at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are some things in here that I'm like the timesheet is kind of like, yeah, I think that would probably like my personal thought is that for things like the timesheet, it would be like, as long as there is a reference to where it could be found.
Yeah.
I think that some of these other things feel like they are things that like were and are like negotiated
Sure.
more than the timesheet is, if that makes sense. Like,
Agreed.
I don't disagree. That's why, if you guys aren't comfortable with it,
evaluations.
I just feel like one of the things that I've learned is as I've gone to some of our negotiations trainings and we talked about negotiated agreements and things like that. They talk about keeping it simple. There's nothing simple about this document. I mean, and every time somebody calls and asks a question, I know it's in here and I know that I've read it, but to be able to find it, because we've got over 100 pages to
Sure.
muster through, I just think we need to,
We only have 95.
because we cleaned a bunch up last year.
Front and back covers too, so. Oh, well, we didn't say front and back.
But you know what I mean? I feel like we have a lot here.
I think that there's also like a maybe in doing things.
And I
like
know
this,
when we
there's a
talked
little
about the
bit of a-
evaluation document, I understand that's probably scary for you guys, and if you're not comfortable with that, I understand that, but is there a simpler way to do this where we
Yeah,
can?
this is like, I think there's a little bit of, because I'm a little bit unsure what I think about in terms of some of those things, what the best sort of course of action is for that, because like if it's all in the negotiated agreement, you can be like, well, it's somewhere in here.
Right,
As opposed to if it is spread out over a bunch of different places, I think it's hard to direct people to things.
yeah,
Right, and especially when we do things like we change our website, right, and change the way that things are listed on our website,
Right.
and certain things become just hard to track down. So like, I feel like there is a world in which I'm like, yeah, I don't like this timesheet. Like, it is not a big deal to me if the timesheet is updated, but it is probably a big deal for me, for somebody to be able to track down where the timesheet is. And I don't really know what what the best solution is to that in
Because they're not
going forward.
using that, so do they just come to here and then take the book to the secretary and say, I need one of these? Like, yeah, or do they just go after
I mean, they just
secretary?
go
I
after
need a
secretary.
secretary.
I mean, nobody's looking at it in there, in my opinion. But
Like there's some that are, like those are widely available.
yeah,
The secretary has a stack of them.
So maybe just talk.
I don't know. And if you guys want to table that and come back next
Well,
time.
I was just gonna ask if they had any other questions, otherwise I was gonna call for topics.
Okay.
You guys have any other questions?
Think so.
No. Yeah, we'll caucus for, what is it? 6:19, 6 till 6:30.
6:30?
Yeah.
Conference room A should be unlocked for you.
Oh.
let's see. In conference room A.
What were they doing?
Hall of Fame.
Well, I thought conference room A. Okay.
What's going on?
I believe they're dead.
Okay, Levi,
Just check it.
if somebody's in conference room A, we're gonna be in that conference room in the instruction office, just come holler at me. They shouldn't be, but if they are, come let me know.
Randy and Josh.
How are you, buddy? Good, how are you? Hi. Hi, Dr. D, how are you?
Man, I'm just waiting on Randy. That's it. That's all I do, man. Oh, my goodness. They're calling.
Not me. Right now. By the time we get home, it'll be 8. Yeah, but we're not going right now.
Yeah, but like, I just mean like to eat some like leftovers.
Don't go for like 8 though.
2 more hours.
We can keep nothing.
Do you want to try the football?
Not the whole thing, but try it.
Half of it. think I used to be an entrepreneur. Or an entrepreneur.
Why is that?
Mm. Didn't you say you used to work at like a grocery store?
Mhm.
Um, were there ever times when you had to like stop people from shoplifting? What about just like bad behavior?
Mm.
Would they start like did any of them do anything bad to me? No.
Some of these things. What's that? What's that? So, are you ever gonna call your friend again and see if he wants to go bowling or something?
I'm really just like doing basketball in his school. So I don't think you might have time to do any of that stuff.
Do you wanna know when this game starts, so you can go watch it? Let's go to first game.
Yeah.
How do you know that they're doing games?
Hmm?
Isn't the basketball season on? At the middle school?
I think it's soccer now. They're in that next week, so. Yeah, probably the basketball season is over. Yeah, but he's also like doing track and all that.
Why don't you do sports?
Me?
Me?
I didn't do sports.
You don't.
Yes, I do. I did weightlifting.
I mean, after school sports.
In school sports,
After school.
in school sports, yeah, I do that. The reason why I don't do that is because I have PE and weights, and that's kind of,
Focus on it.
I think you notice is I come home every day and.
You should have, done sports after school instead of taking a PE class. The weightlifting class of sports after school. And then you should have taken Spanish.
Yes. Spanish, there's only like one more seat in weightlifting. And I'm lucky that that happened. But the thing about Spanish was because that all the seats were filled.
You still should have taken Spanish.
Yeah, but
It's more helpful for your future than PE.
like the first day we got there was shit. I mean, like, you know, like when the first day we get some pictures and everything.
How about next year?
I'm still gonna do weightlifting. I get muscle.
No, do a sport.
Oh,
You're gonna do PE, weightlifting, and a sport then. Next year. Next year, you don't get a choice. You sign up for after school.
yes, soccer.
Huh?
Soccer.
Any, all, one every season. So you'll do football,
No, football. I like
then after you do football, you'll do basketball, and then after basketball, you'll do wrestling. And then wrestling, after wrestling, you'll do soccer.
no soccer. No soccer. Just
No, you gotta do one every season.
like, is that not like a school thing or? Is
That's
it
my thing.
just, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do soccer.
No, you're gonna, no, you're gonna do one every
It's a
season.
soccer.
So you either have to do,
Messi is a big guy.
you either have to do cross country or football.
Soccer.
Soccer's not all year round.
Wait, what do you mean by it's not on you?
They would split it up into seasons, and the sports are in different seasons.
Well, I want to do cross country because we have that treadmill like place
You'll either do
in a
football
park behind us.
or you'll do cross country. Yeah.
Soccer. Soccer.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
In multiple sports, they don't cut anybody, so everybody who turns out makes the team. Unless you don't show up to practice. Everything. Yeah, because then they just want they.
Everybody jealous of this office.
But
You can do that.
Really,
but
because I need to separate our office. We want to remodel the office over there,
That's
and
good.
we need cubicles. And I was looking at some, but nothing like that. It wasn't high
Oh, they're
speed.
locked out. We wouldn't let them in, right? That's it.
We'll go. I don't see it.
Okay. Yeah, well, wait.
Last for an extra long minute.
Didn't account for the traffic, though, sorry.
Yeah.
They're all here for this.
Yeah.
That pulled apart.
Elevators.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sure.
Where's your extension cord?
I know.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
gonna get back when we go to the boardroom. Good luck to the was. To find it again.
One of those two tables down there is plugged in, I'm sure.
Did you hit the
Well,
mute button?
there's also some.
Oh, no, I didn't on the way out. But let me check to be sure.
Oh.
It is on, hold on. Sorry.
I have before, not recently.
All right, so we are open to, having these updated, but if you guys wanted to update some, they felt like we're not representative of what we're currently using.
Okay.
But as far as removing them, yeah, we're not comfortable with that.
Okay.
Easy?
Yep.
All right, so is that one up here? Is that appendix? Is that one you need to vote on this?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Move.
Appendices. Appendices.
Appendicitis.
Then you just say happy dad to me. Remove appendices. Oh, that's what.
Yeah, isn't that the big first surgery on Grey's Anatomy, an appy?
Probably. On the
Yes,
first of
it is.
8,000.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the first
All the
solo.
way.
That's the first solo surgery.
It's way too long.
I made it all the way through once and then like 3/4 of the way. a
When all the
second time.
characters started dropping off right
Couldn't
now. I was-
even make it past season 3 or 4.
So if you want to click to that tab, Josh,
Appendix.
so remove appendices from negotiated agreement, is that?
Yep.
Okay, and then just want to vote?
Sure.
Okay. Yes, it is. Ordinance. Is it lowercase?
Yeah, lowercase y for yeesh or yikes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you, I mean, you don't have to decide right now, but just for clarity's sake, did you want to potentially revisit that in terms of updating things? Or should-
Yeah,
should
I
we
may
wait?
bring a couple documents, just different templates that we
Okay.
have. I'll get with Drew.
I'll just leave it yellow.
Drew's got them. Yeah, but I mean,
That
and
works.
honestly, the only things that at this point that I would say that we need to change, because we just updated the plan of assistance.
Uh-huh.
That was last year, or the
2 years
before.
ago, but yeah.
The conference report, which it's the same document, it's just a different layout.
Yeah.
It's the same material, so I can bring that and I don't remember. It'll be the same, it's the same, and I don't know how we want to do that, but the formative eval. It doesn't look like that anymore because we don't use it on the computer because the way it's done now with power or with, what is it? Telenet. It looks different. So to me, I think we just leave that because
Is it the same?
it's the same
Content,
stuff.
just-
It's the same content. It just looks different on a
Computer.
template. Yeah, because the way the Telenet works. So
Okay.
I would say we leave that one alone and I'll bring an updated conference report.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that then.
Yeah.
And I'll just. Oops.
And the conference report won't change either. It'll just be same content, just different layout.
Yeah, and you can always take a snap of what it looks like on the computer too.
All right, we go.
Not worth TV, but
No.
Re-letter the.
I'd say if we just add.
Only if you are
Well-
volunteering to go through the agreement page by page to make sure.
I'll just control I and then we'll have all kinds of like words with like different letters in the middle of them. It'll be really fun.
Oh, yeah, what's next?
What does it talk about?
So we're done with language clarifications, correct? Yeah?
Other than the ones that are like typed up, bigger.
Yeah, the
Discussion.
different items. Okay. Should we do it? I guess we should put that in there, yeah? Okay. Want to just get a vote for legal clarifications? Randy, you don't have to vote on this one. You can if you want to, but you weren't here for all of it, so.
We talked a little bit about it.
Okay, all right. All right, so let's get a vote to make that official for all the legal clarifications. Good. So, all right, we'll go to the.
I was really
If
invested.
you're good with it, we'll go to the second part of the language or the salary schedule regulations,
Okay,
unless there was something else you wanted to talk about.
nope, that sounds good.
Okay. So that's for you guys. It's back in that section E, page 23.
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this kind of ties in actually to the new teacher things where you're hired. So I don't know if this complicates that at all, actually. But purpose is to recognize the value and the contributions of substitute teachers and classified personnel who have dedicated time and service to the district by granting them credit for years of service when they transition into certified teaching positions within the district. So if you look at page 23, it talks about the initial placement on the salary schedule and supplemental, this is the third paragraph, excuse me, on the supplemental salary schedule shall be determined by the Board of Education and School Administration. Credit for qualifying experience within or outside the school district can only be allowed at full credit for verifiable years of actual teaching experience. Underneath that, I would like to add the paragraph that's in front of you there. A. In addition to the provisions outlined above, all substitute teachers and classified personnel who are subsequently hired in certified teaching positions within the district shall be eligible for placement on the salary schedule based on the cumulative experience within the district. Experience gained in these roles will be credited towards salary placement when employee transitions to a certified position within the district. Specifically, for every full academic year or equivalent accumulated service worked as a substitute teacher or classified employee, the individual shall receive 1 year service credit towards salary schedule placement.
So you're saying if a para was a para for 4 years, they should come in on step 4 of the salary schedule.
Yes, ma'am.
So then,
So that's
and
why.
then the rationale is just the justification for why you're thinking that. So that's the only language is a proposed statement.
Correct.
Can we caucus?
Yeah.
Let's 6:41. Yes, I need.
6:42.
We were supposed to rewind.
Let's do 15 minutes.
Is that all of this, or is there more that, like the rationale,
That's
just
just
to explain that?
That's
That's
just
just,
explanation.
that's an explanation of why we think so.
So let's do 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 6:42.
So
57. 57. That work?
Yep.
Okay. Right.
We would propose that long-term subs in an open position for the entire year would get a 1-for-1 credit with a max of 4 years. And that they have to pass their test in order to receive that one per year.
So the rationale behind that is we really want, so two things. One, if you're a parent and you're gonna go into the teaching program, we're probably gonna push you into a long-term sub position to push you out of the benefits for our long-term subs that are in programs.
Okay.
So that would be the rationale for the parents that are doing that. The other thing is we want them to get their teaching degree sooner rather than later. And I don't want people that are long-term subbing for us for 10 years before they finally get their degree. We need them to get certified because we take things on those folks every time that they're not certified too. So
Right.
that way we'll point out that they need to have a little skin in the game for us too.
So paras, when they get into that program, they get placed
Yeah.
in locker subs very
Yeah.
often. Okay.
Yeah, more often than not, if that's what they want to do, we would do that.
And also just felt that the responsibilities of those long-term subs in open positions are very comparable to a certified. They have to do the
Yeah.
planning and the prep
Right.
and that,
It's very
whereas a
close.
para does not.
You said max of 4 years, so is that?
And we picked 4 because it should take them within 4 years to get their teaching degree.
So then they'd be at step 3, they'd be starting at step 3.
They would start on step 4 because they 0, 1, 2, 3. They
And then
come in.
August, be on 4.
We come in
So
at 4.
3 years up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just as it's getting towards the end here, would you mind if we, I take that home and we talk about it a little bit longer? Because we do have one more thing we wanted to get to. That's actually gonna be pretty easy.
Okay.
And then we can do our letter. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay. I should have just included this in the language changes. We were talking about that right now. I just overlooked it. So this is parent-teacher conferences. There's no substantive changes here whatsoever. We just want to take a sentence from the paragraph above and move it into the steps below. It's page 33 and 34. You four or you 3?
3.
33 and 34, you said, Levi?
Yes, sir. So from our survey, we are noticing that most buildings, vast majority of buildings are following the steps that we have laid out here for how parent-teacher conferences.
The number of items, 1, 1, 3, 4,
Yeah.
3.
But the vast majority are not following the survey part of it. And we think that's not,
It's kind of hidden.
it's hidden,
Yeah.
exactly. It's in the paragraph form. I think they're just kind of looking at those steps like, oh, we have to
Here,
do 1,
here
2,
are the
and
things
3.
I have to abide by.
And they're skipping over the paragraph part,
Which
which,
is just say, pull it out of there and put it
Make a
down there.
number,
Yes.
make it number 3 and then 3 to 4.
yes.
I don't know. I think that is totally accurate that they're looking at the steps and missing it.
Every
I have an issue with that. You guys good with that? Same language, just different spot. What's that?
So like, when, on this TV, if you highlight something in pink, like, it makes it weird. Like, it
Now
makes it
she's gotta
weird and
try
hard
it
to
on
read,
her TV.
which is, yeah, so I have a TV in my classroom new this year. Now I wanna know if I go project in my classroom, if pink specifically does that too. Like, cause these yellow ones were originally pink when we came in here today, and then
Right.
it turns it into like weird symbols.
What's that?
If a building is not doing the survey, they should, because it's in here.
They should be doing the survey.
But that, you're saying most of them don't?
The based on results, the probably two-thirds, probably higher than that. We're doing everything else. We're flexibly scheduling up to 5 hours, stuff like that. But I'd say only a third we're actually surveying based on our results. So
Yeah.
So just making it more evident and then holding people more accountable.
yeah,
And we need to do a better
I
job
think
too,
we were-
probably just making sure administrators know that that's.
point it out to them. Yeah, I think that would help. But I do think I really don't think it was intentional at all. I think they were trying to. That it just
Here are the three things that I have to do.
So therefore
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
do
do
these
this.
three things.
Well, and that's the thing that we hit really hard last year was the 5 hours, because I know you guys had said that there was a lot of buildings that weren't doing that.
Yeah.
And so when we met with them, like at the beginning of the year, when we had our back to school meetings with administrators before school started, that was the one thing that we said, you guys have got to be doing this, make sure that you get your 5 hours. And so
And our survey says
we'll
they-
target the survey
Okay.
this time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Little dimension.
All right. You want to move to that tab, Josh, just so everybody
Yeah.
see
The
PTCF?
Yeah.
Do you need to also put in there, make the current step 3, step 4?
Oh, yeah, probably.
So teenage me would be horrified that I volunteered to do this.
I love that this is a thought. If
I
we had
I'm
all
sitting here
the
thinking
things.
how like I'm like enjoying this a little bit. I'm like, why is so? I don't know why, but
I did all the things. So.
teenage me would just be like,
Yeah, we have nothing.
you need to get a hobby.
You should have seen Josh's
As an
face.
adult, I'm like, yeah.
You should have seen Josh's face the
Watching
first time.
TV.
First time we had a meeting about negotiations, I told Josh, I'm like, I'm pretty sure like this is what I was born to do. And he was like, are you insane?
Yeah.
Thanks, but no thanks. All right, shall we vote?
That's it.
I know it's tempting to vote no, just.
Just to break it up a little bit.
Mm.
Just so you know, I think our ground rules say if you vote no, you have to provide the next proposal.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Oh,
just-
I'm not
I'm just
gonna be
kidding.
here next meeting. Oh, shoot. Bummer.
So do you want to table the
Yeah,
the other piece?
I think it's gonna take some, we're probably out of caucus on it ourselves.
Okay.
And by then, yeah, we're gonna run out of time.
Yep, no, I'm with you.
So we'd rather, I will just talk with him about it between now and next week and then we'll come back with something.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Oh, no, not that one. Sorry, this one I changed. Over to.
so if we can come to an agreement, consensus on that, is that gonna have salary schedule regulations done then? Is that over?
Or is there
Oh,
more
if
stuff
that's,
under that?
if we were to do that next week, yes, that would be the last thing to have, yeah.
Okay, so that'll be, okay. I just didn't know if we wanted to add other stuff for the next meeting. Parent teacher conferences, are we done with, are you guys good with that?
That would be it for us.
Okay, we don't have anything, so that'll be green. Yeah, there we go, look at that. Fringe benefits,
So yeah, I mean, you guys listed that on the last one. I don't know if you guys wanna
yeah.
move that to a later date.
So we can tell you what we're thinking.
Okay.
You guys can kind of ponder that, and then we can maybe hit the ground running with a couple of things.
Okay.
So we're proposing that no additional fringe be added this year, and the rationale being that last year with the change in how encumbrances were done, we were able to put $1 million into the health reserve fund. So the balance of the health reserve fund is healthy right now. And we've had a good year, so I would rather see that money go towards the salary increase than fringe and just continue to build that fund. And the other thing that makes me feel very comfortable in not adding fringe is that half of all interest on investments goes into that. And interest rates were really good this year, and we got a little more aggressive in our investments. And so we feel like we're gonna have a substantial amount to transfer in at the end of the year off of interest.
Is sick bank part of that equation too?
No.
Okay.
Just fringe benefits, just that
Just your-
$900 you get.
The $900 for your
I
health
know, but
insurance.
remember the sick bank, any leftover days is supposed to go into that.
Oh, yeah, correct, and that's
Okay.
another thing and I don't have that number, but yes, again, that's
That's part
something
of the
that's adding into
Equation to
that,
it,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I feel like we have substantial balances with those other sources that we don't need to do it through fringe benefit.
We can talk more about that, but we'll throw that out. So you guys can have
So we can have it, yeah, appreciate it.
Ponder and steal on it. Okay,
I'm gonna throw that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in that into proposal up here.
sounds good. So with that in mind, what do we want to dive into for the next meeting?
He's still typing.
Yeah, sorry. So we can do PD council.
Are you highlighting everybody?
Yeah, I was going
Okay.
to.
They have the remote for the TV.
That was gonna turn off.
Is it touchscreen?
I know, 190.
Maybe. Is it under Levi's paper right there?
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I just saw a red button.
Okay, Randy.
Yeah, we're gonna do PD council. We would like to do safe learning environment and student
Yeah, I think you just
discipline.
need it on the TV one.
Okay,
If that, is good. And then, I feel like there was one more. Oh, yeah. Safe learning environment, staff meeting delayed start, correct?
Staff meetings, delayed
Talk
start.
about maybe the sick thing.
We talked about maybe the sick bank,
Oh, yeah.
maybe reassignments and transfers.
How do y'all feel about any of those things?
yeah. I think that's fine.
You're good with sick bank? Because I know that's gonna be some work on your guys' end.
Yeah. We may not get it done that night, but at least we can get it started and
Okay.
kind of talk about what we want to do.
Did you have those numbers for like use and stuff like that? Would that be available
Sorry, say that again.
for sick bank?
How many people have used and how many we got
Yeah.
left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
I'm
people
volunteering
have?
you.
Yeah, I know, that's why.
Yeah, I know. That's why I write it down, Josh.
Okay, sick bank.
Yeah.
Number of employees that have used it this year.
And how many left
Yeah.
over? And I think Drew sent us the numbers of who volunteered to,
How many
To-
bought into it?
Yeah.
and we have a deadline on that, right? They can't
October.
They have to-
they couldn't have done that after.
After.
Okay.
Well, unless they were new hires. then.
Right,
Yep.
so maybe if there was one, bring that, but
How many days we got, how many days we got left?
yeah.
And
Where is this?
and it does start over at semester, so I already have the number of days that'll be converted into a dollar figure for
From
the
fall
health reserve. Yeah. So I'll bring that.
Where's sick bank?
It's,
Did we just leave it under leave? We probably just messed with that under leave.
Probably.
Yeah.
You okay if I insert a cell and put sick bank there? I mean, we have to talk about it, so.
yeah, it's sunsetted, so.
No, stop that. Go.
That's, I'll make sure.
All right, so. I'm gonna bold this because we'll start with that next week. Salary schedule regulations. Yeah, let me go on appendix. Oh,
And
because
Brent.
you said appendix might be a little bit, might not be next week.
I think I can get it.
Okay, okay.
Drew's got the, I just don't, Drew has them, so
Okay.
I'll just have Drew get them and bring them. Yeah.
I'll write that down.
Well, then, I can remember some things. I love around here. The only, there was one. Reassignments and transfers.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking there?
Um,
The only reason I'm asking is that's something that I want to make sure I get Drew's input on because that's his world.
yeah,
And I don't want to speak without conferring with him first. And if you,
generally looking at how, once teachers are reassigned, how, like, if they're reassigned at the beginning of the year from like, you're this teacher, now you're this teacher, how that process unfolds after that generally. To give you specifics, I can't give you specifics
Okay.
right now.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That helps.
Okay.
You wanna go over your letter real quick?
I definitely have it open. Okay, go over there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Where I'm gonna start bringing my second monitor over here.
We need,
Set it up with that extension cord.
Yes. Yes, that's great.
This matrix thing. Just go to Google.
Thought I had an app.
Yeah.
I know,
I like that these kind of conversations, thing about go up there on the grid and unfold the technology. Go back to your Google. Up there on the grid. That?
I think we just cut faces of language, didn't we?
Yeah, well, sometimes.
That is my hat.
No, I mean, on my screen, like,
Shortcut.
a shortcut, yeah.
Bullet points or was it list style?
It was
No, I
bullet
just
point.
thought there was one.
It was.
Oh, no, it was numbered.
So.
So here's the thing that we did last year.
Yeah, move on to the first tab over there. So I kind of went down that second monitor.
So,
Do you want to keep it so you have it?
What's our first tab over there?
fringe benefits,
No, the last one, the last tab.
compensation to new certified employees.
Is there's no right before that?
100%.
No, okay.
No, sir.
All right.
I have this on, I took the lid off, I'm like,
Oh,
it's broke.
Yeah,
Maybe it broke.
Do you have that?
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
What are we looking
Or
for?
that letter back out
Oh,
again.
yeah.
So you can see the ones you're adding as you go.
Oh, okay, I see. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. You can donate it to my classroom, that's the back. Kids will occasionally charge your. After a week, it's just becomes a community problem.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. That's true. My personal, or my charger for my iPad has so many labels on it.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, covered mine.
No, also I don't let them touch that one. They can only use the ones the kids have left behind in my room.
All of the pens that I actually buy have a G on them because when I was gone, when I had surgery this year, I came back and one of my students, he had been stealing my pens and saying that he had brought them from home. And I was like, you're sure that's fine. So I marked all of my pens.
So if it's 6, that's.
Somebody's got to waste so much time on that.
Not gonna lie, I did it during a staff meeting.
Right.
Yeah,
Always.
It was work related.
What is it?
Nuclear bonus?
Incentive.
Incentive.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
You want me to bring that one up?
What did he say?
Nah, it's okay.
I thought you were talking about the one.
I don't think I've ever done that.
You need me to click on another one, Levi?
Yeah, go to the next one now.
I don't take them. I just go into his room and I unscrew them and I switch the colors. So they're not the colors that I
That
want.
was the one where we wrote that you guys would pay the,
Last year he had.
Oh, yeah.
pay the,
Friend benefit.
The
Fees or whatever.
administration, yeah.
yeah.
Required.
He accused me after that. He was like, "Did you steal my stuff?" You know, like, no.
Yeah, what was it called again?
Never stole.
Administration fee.
Yeah, on their fringe benefit package.
That's why I wanted to see. If
Oh, look, it's zooming in on Randy now.
I was hoping that would happen the entire time and he got.
Yeah, it's going, Randy. Does it go ahead?
Yeah, it's going away.
No,
Oh,
he's
now it's
off.
coming back.
Zooming in, zooming in.
Okay, next one, Josh.
That's so big.
Next one. That was just,
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to last.
Okay. Conferences.
So the big one is the.
Article.
That's somebody.
4.
Section J,
He showed me.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
add step 3.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, she did say that. Bill and Diana will work together.
Yeah, Hannah and I. Hannah, she's called it. I Googled not together. She has the-
Oh, we still need the straight.
I am.
She said it was on Sunday.
See, I don't drink caffeine anymore because I gave up pop for Lent. And,
Oh.
it's not gonna be a lifetime choice, Tracy. I mean.
I was like, wow.
We're gonna walk out of here and there's gonna be like.
Yeah, I know, that'll be-
Yes. So I was talking to one of the sixth graders who I had in fourth grade. She has an Ashton report and so I asked her what she gave up for Lent. She's like, oh, I gave up cussing this year. I was like, you're in sixth grade. You probably shouldn't be doing that anyway. Let's think of something else. She's like, oh, what about pop? I was like, okay.
We were coming back from
We all have to.
the first Sunday after Lent started. And that's what I gave up myself. I gave up pop. So did JJ, so what did you give up? Oh, no, I haven't decided yet. I'm like, dude,
It's been a week.
it's been a week. You're a little late to the game now.
Did
Freaking
he,
clown.
did
I don't know, I haven't decided.
he hear back from Dylan?
Yeah, they did some like 20 person panel up where they just, right there in the middle, so that was.
Oh, yeah.
They did
Discussed
random
it.
notice there,
Oh,
and then he never heard anything.
oh.
There was also a reason principle that need to be voted upon.
I was telling you, like, one of those teachers.
But mostly, yeah, discussed it. It's still
Nothing was.
the only.
I have no right up there, right? So.
Right, they did.
Okay,
medical
but then-
insurance.
Give me the following negotiated agreement
Yeah, he's been out here.
items.
Yeah, Sure.
Oh, they're
You were at
just
the
discussing.
house. Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Tell him to apply for the
He
PD.
really likes it so far.
But yeah.
Depending on the-
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
This is
he just.
justifying the fact that I kept talking about it.
Sure is.
I mean, it doesn't.
So now I'm going to have to
I have
bring it
25
up time.
friends who go through midlife crisis right now. Like,
I guess
you
it's
get-
ahead of the game technically,
Yeah.
but I'm
he
just
gets his
saying.
college
Where
degree
was
and
it,
he
5 or
starts
6?
thinking,
True,
like,
true.
this sucks. I don't want to do this. And I'm like,
But he gets the green.
computer informatics and something with cybersecurity emphasis. And he's not into it at all. So then he's like, well, I think I want to do heating and air conditioning. What do I
Dispatcher.
I'm like, well, that sounds great, Jay. What do you know about that? Well, I know they make a lot of money.
Oh.
I said, and that was the mistake you made when you went and got your degree here,
Maybe you should.
because they made a lot of money and you hate the job. So now, and so I said to Katie, I said, can you just come and interview your husband? Just let him sit down and talk and maybe shadow him for a couple of
Yeah,
hours,
see
you
what
know,
it's really like.
see if you really like that. And if you do, then maybe go and look into it. But let's not jump into something without,
Well, for years, Nick has not wanted to
go to college. And we finally decided he's gonna go here to the JUCO. Still not 100% sure he's gonna graduate, but that's a whole other story.
High school or college?
High school.
Hey, I had one of those. Mine did.
She
Mine
also was
did.
the SRO for the last 2 weeks before spring break, and one of the Darlene Dillon, somebody.
Darlene
Dillon
Dillon.
Came and found him
Oh,
and was
yeah.
like,
She's
your
like,
kid.
she's like the graduation.
She's like,
Oh,
he needs to
she's
spend some
graduation
extra
coach.
time
Yeah,
with
that's what
me.
he was
Really
gonna
more than
say.
graduation
Oh,
months, you know?
And I'm okay with that.
She's,
I'm
and
okay
she
with
does
that.
a good job. I mean, and the kids are
Somebody's
fun
gotta do it.
But yeah, so he's
You
spending
don't
some
play.
extra time at school to make sure he graduates, but we got his acceptance packet to the JUCO last week, 2 weeks ago, and they're cutting the theater program. It's the only reason why it's gone. So now it's
Well,
back
the
to.
community is fighting back against
Yeah.
that. I don't know if you've been aware.
I don't think it's gonna change. They give them money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have that money.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well, and
They have-
Well, yeah. I heard that they could cut it
Or they wanna
somewhere
spend
else.
it somewhere else,
Yeah, just cut it somewhere else. Yeah.
well, so my brother-in-law is a ship captain on the West Coast. He tugboats and I don't know what they're all called, but he's a boat captain. Everything basically but a cruise ship. And he wants to hire him as a deckhand. And I'm like, dude,
That would be a
Go.
dream job.
Oh,
do it.
My son would be in
Do
heaven
it.
doing that.
I
They
know,
work
but they're
so
outside
hard.
on the
But
water.
to be on the
They
water all
love
day, every day,
Pacific
oh, my
Northwest.
I would totally
Be a
Two
good
weeks
If I was
on.
30 years younger, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Well, 2 weeks
I
on,
watched
2 weeks
that.
off.
Well,
That's
that's
crabby.
deadliest.
That's
That's a whole
crabby. That's
There's a
different.
reason the show's called Deadly.
Levi, do you need me to
It's not
go?
gonna be
Are you
a-
good?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
So
good.
it's 2 weeks
You know how
on,
much
2
we're all
weeks off,
helping you right now?
and, I mean, that's where I'm from, in the Pacific Northwest, so we go back every year. Unless my husband has something to say about it, but we go back every year.
Where are you from in
Um,
the Pacific Northwest? Oregon or
Oregon.
Washington?
Oregon, yeah, north.
Well, Washington would be the
How did
Northwest.
you get down here? Like a place with trees?
I grew up just outside of Salem, Oregon, in a little town called Independence. And we moved to Tyrone the year before my senior year. My senior year.
We were the thriving metropolis.
I went from a class of about 230 to 13. So, yeah, my stepdad went to work for his brother in the oil field. He had a geological tech company that surveys the ground as it comes out when they're drilling. He went to work for him. And then I met Chance. And
Now you're stuck. Yep.
Literally, they're all
I
gone.
know
They've
the
all
feeling.
left and gone back.
Figured it over.
So I go back every summer. That's part of the reason why I became a teacher, because I have summers off, but
And I will tell you that the older you get, the less you go back.
I know, I'm feeling it.
I mean, we go back, still probably the same. I go back twice a year like we always have, but the amount of time we stay home diminishes each time we go home. Like I went home for spring break, we left Friday night and we spent the first Friday and Saturday of spring break, we went home Friday night. We were in Cheyenne, we were in Wyoming on Saturday and Sunday. We got up early Monday morning, come home, and I was good with that.
I mean, or you just have really
Love
good
my
family
family, but-
relations, like we do, and then
I love
it's
my
no
family.
problem.
but after a
See,
while,
and I love my
sometimes
family
it's-
too, but it's not just the family, it's the politics out there that I just, it's awful.
Oh, the hippies out there, yeah.
Awful. I can't drive through Portland anymore without just being, a chance to.
Yeah.
Hippie, West Coast life,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I love that.
But the homelessness and it's just the homeless, the tent
Mm-hmm.
cities, and it's not as the same as when I grew up, and it's sad and it's depressing and it's
You're like, I don't
like
want to
I used
see
to live in a feedlot and I can't stand that. Like it's not.
You good?
Yeah, you want to see, can we get it real quick or?
Oh, you're.
No, not Buffalo Jones. Jimmy Barker.
No, but. I have some I can reach out to.
I have every other one. I hope, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can reach out to.
How many others?
Is that where you went? Did you go buy that?
You don't get it,
At
did you?
7 and then I
Well,
already
You
have.
know that that's what you.
Yeah. Okay, but
I feel like there's one other thing. to talk
they
about.
only got to be that way last week.
Oh.
Range of salary.
So it doesn't. I was going through cleaning up.
I think that's it. That's it.
Okay.
We talked, language clarification covers a lot.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, that might be what I was thinking. Yep, you wanna email it to me?
Sure.
I'll print her off.
And we'll send it back to us.
Been fun adventure. Becca got one.
What's your necklace?
A student made it for me. It says books are the best. No, I'm not, but I have friends that do me bracelets. That's the thing. He bought bracelets for the kids as like a reward for their concert, and he let us come get one first. So very much.
What's it say?
It says best friends. And then Emily and Heidi, who are in the bedroom, gave me the rest of them. Heidi has bracelets. Like, I know, just, it's okay. Heidi just had surgery and she's like recovering, like not doing great. So I'm like, I'm not gonna bring that up for a while.
I went down and talked to her.
I thought about it.
It's 0%. Zero. It said it would only take 5 questions.
It's free.
Well, I'm at 1%, yeah.
Now you're good.
I didn't know we didn't go to that.
Good. Did I not give any? I'm sorry. But there was like 27 people there.
I guess somebody can probably stop.
When's the next one?
April 10th. We're gonna try doing the second Thursdays.
Bye, y'all. Thank you and come again.
And it like, we're like